Are we live now? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a taste of Lavina Poetic Empress coming at you with a taste of, oh, excuse me, with a taste of Seg 13, Divine Mahri. Good evening. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
Oh,
It's good to see you.
it's good to see you too. Are we live? Oh, you guys. Look at me. Okay, so I'm new to streaming on YouTube. So I was having a little difficulty, getting us on here, but we are here and Divine Marie is ready. So,
Ache.
um, would you like to introduce yourself to some of those who don't know you?
Ache, of course, absolutely. I am I am SDG 13. That's I'm Minister SDG 13. And I represent Master Vibration 13 and Infinity Ministries. And I help people remember who they are using scalar technology like this.
Let's
These are
see.
orgone energy batteries, and they're created from crystals, metals, and resin, and it creates a scalar wave. A scalar wave is a multidimensional energy that moves faster than the speed of light. And I spent the last 13 years of my life creating orgone energy batteries, raising the vibration of the planet, and filtering the energy in my home and in my communities. And that's what I do. And I heal people. My specialty in working with this is helping people heal from trauma, specifically sexual trauma. And so these are one of the tools that I use for my own self healing. And so that is what I practice and share.
That's awesome. Now, Divine Marie or Sec 13, can you please because you said you use the that it's not that particular crystal for your own personal, that's what I was looking for. I was going to
The
say,
one.
can you show the wand? Yes.
So you're talking about in regards to working with sexual healing and sexual energy. Okay.
Yes.
Wands, I do create wands, but see the ones that I create, these are tools that could be used for yourself, for your sexual healing, just like you were using a yoni egg, but it would be a specific kind. So these particular wands though are used for all kinds of energy healing. So if you're having like pain in your body, if you're needing to direct energy, see how there's a crystal point here. This crystal quartz, it's a energy director, and you can direct energy with wands. And so if you know how to utilize them, then you're able to do a lot of energy work on yourself, on other things, on other energy. It's all about energy work and energy manipulation. So using a wand to manipulate energy is a good, that's what wands are used for, to manipulate energy.
Wow. Now, with that one that has the crystal quartz top on it,
Mhm.
those can be programmed. Am I correct?
They can
Like,
all be programmed. This can also be
okay.
programmed. All or anything that has crystal quartz in it, or any other. All stones are programmable, right? But crystal quartz has a higher way of programming. Like this is crystal quartz is used for information. Like when you look at crystals, and okay, I'm going to show you. There are different kinds of crystals. There are um, crystals that carry information. There are crystals that carry akashic records and different programs of information. And so there's lines on the crystals that are like, for lack of a better explanation, it's like a computer board, like a motherboard. And so
Right.
there's information in it. And so when people hold crystals, it adjusts to your energy and it starts picking up on your vibrational frequency, and it starts to work on doing its healing on you. And sometimes the healing of stones, it's a very organic energy, and what happens, it starts bringing out the things that need healing. And so sometimes people are not ready for certain information or certain energy, so they become afraid of the crystals and the stones. But every crystal carries information. And so when they have, like, it
Those are
takes
beautiful.
millions of years for stones to form. Like, some people do it, they're able to develop crystals now, through technology. But
Mm.
the ones that exist on the planet that are organic are going to have your, little lines. You have some things that are sleek and straight, but they all have different um different purposes and different kinds of crystals. Like, you got Lemurian crystals, and you have crystals that are record keepers.
Mm.
And record keeping crystals have a different. I didn't know that we were gonna get into, like, the kind of crystals. So I don't
Mhm.
have any set up. I got a bunch of different ones, but the
Mhm.
record keepers usually have these indentations, and they have. Okay, matter of fact, I don't know if you could see it there, but there's an indentation in
Yeah.
there, and they have these, like, geometrical shapes that are really cool, and those are like your record keepers. And
Mhm.
crystals, when you connect with them, they help you have a deeper connection with yourself. When you start with the crystal quartz, it's clearing energy. And so I
Mhm.
want to get back to this. I don't want to, when it comes to the wand, see, I don't want anybody calling me telling me that they want a wand that they could use for internal purposes, because it has to be done in a very specific way with a very
Right.
specific mold, right? And so
Right.
these would not be it, right? So but there are people that do them, and they're very, very powerful to use that in a way of an internal cleanse. And so
Right.
with the male energy, what you do is you pretend this is the phallus and this is the wand, and so
Mhm.
you sweep energy out of it.
Right.
And for a man, it's just a lot easier to do it. So a man could
Right.
use this type of wand, right,
Right.
for himself. But for women, I would recommend starting with a yoni egg. And a yoni egg is basically the form of an egg, and they come in different sizes, and you're
Right.
able to insert those. And when you insert those inside of yourself and do your Kegel exercises, you are basically squeezing energy out of the stone that's in you, and you're commanding the energy to be used with inside you for it to do what it does. So starting with the clear quartz energy is really great for clearing energy. You're clearing that space.
Right.
And when you're using that stone, and the reason why it's so important, because some people that may be watching this for the first time or hearing information like this for the first time might be saying, that sounds crazy, that's like nuts, what are you talking about? But when a woman is with partners, there are things that women have done to clear themselves, like with vinegar and different things like that, different
Mhm.
um, douches
Mhm.
and different things like that have
Mhm.
been used. I don't. There's also yoni steams. That's what I highly recommend, is yoni steams. But
Mhm.
if you do in the yoni steam, you're getting things in there, and you're getting work done. But when you're using the healing properties of a stone, and you're able to utilize that safely inside yourself, so that you could eliminate any toxicity and toxic energy, energetic debris from energy that is stored in there, that we don't even think about taking it out. Like, how many times have you heard about, when you're with a partner, having to clear your energy in all ways, not just internally, but also like a clear energy sweep of your system, to remove cord cutting, to remove the energy of that being away from you, so that you can clear yourself and be prepared for your next life, for your next episode in your life. You know what I'm saying? But people don't talk about that. Like, I didn't know to do that until I was taught through spirit. through my ancestors, through the work that I started doing on myself with the organ.
Right.
Then the information started coming, and the work that I started doing with the organ started with just pyramids, pyramid work. And when I
Right.
started doing pyramid work is just working with pyramids. And you could work with pyramids in any form. It could be a copper pyramid, doesn't have to be an orgone energy pyramid, an orgone energy battery. But
Mhm.
when you work with it in this form, what's happening is the metaphysical healing properties of it in this form are being amplified in this formula. And so
Right.
now I'm working with it on a whole nother level than when you're just working with the stones alone. And so
Right.
this allowed me to be able to go deep into, you know, what people are calling now shadow work is basically just going inside yourself and looking at yourself, right?
Exactly.
So work, when you're working with these, you're able to go in and the journey is secure, the journey is safe, meaning you're going to be able to integrate the situations that have occurred, right? So let's say there's some traumatic, really dark traumatic issues. A lot of times when you have traumatic issues, you're not trying to go back there, you're not trying to look at that. You're not, no, thank you. Just stay where it's at. It's nicely packed and I don't want to deal with it. But what's
Exactly.
happening now in the world is this energy is coming up because it needs healing. When we pack energy and when we don't look at the things that are going on within us, they start to cause sickness. So all of the sickness that we experience physically is starting from the mind, it's starting from the metaphysical, right? It's starting from thoughts, it's starting from ideas and the things that we believe, right? Of course, the
Right.
things that we consume and all of these, and not just the consumption of food, but the consumption of your eyes and your ears, what you're listening to, what you're seeing
Exactly.
that is seeping into your subconscious thoughts and sitting there. Because if you're looking at things that are showing you an idea of who you are and you don't know who you are, then you're good. That idea is going to seep into your subconscious mind, and then you'll
Right.
start believing that you are what you are not because you're not grounded on what you believe already. So
Right.
people think that the things that we consume is just, the things that we're eating that can affect our health. But
Right.
everything that we consume through our eyes, through our ears, through our mouth, that's affecting our health. So with this technology, you're able to clear that space and have a better connection with yourself so that you can get the information that you need so that you could do your own self-healing. And so that's
Right.
what I practice. I've been practicing it with this technology for the last 13 years, and that's the work that I do every day. Healing is never done, as long as you're still in the flesh, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're always going to be healing, and I've been called here to help people heal specifically from the sexual trauma that has been put upon the planet.
Wow, that is amazing. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful to have met you and found out this all this information because I just thought that after 9 days the sperm is gone, it disintegrates, it goes wherever it goes. But um, I've been taught that all energy stored must be released. So all that was doing is storing up in you. And that's
Hmm.
amazing. And I'm so grateful you have this knowledge and wisdom to come and share it with,
A
the rest of
change.
humanity. So a change can occur, you know. And it's something
Oh,
that you
for
see
sure.
because I've seen, well, I've seen and talked to women who they may have hooked up with this person, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden, I've known them for years because they were clients, and all of a sudden they start getting sick. All of these issues just kept
Hmm.
coming up, and coming up, and they didn't even consider it might be this because you wasn't like that before. You met this person and started, and
Hmm.
it wasn't like the situation was like getting better over time, but
Right.
because of the feeling of what they call love for this person, they just continued. And was having a lot of feminine issues, you know.
Hmm.
So
And
those,
go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
I was gonna say those are like some of the people I hope will hear this and come
Hmm.
and get help from you. It's a definite because um, wanting to have a baby and can't, women just think
Hmm.
it's just them, but it's like, no, it's what you're allowing to go into your system, into your body
Hmm.
that's preventing you from reproducing.
Yeah, and a lot of thoughts, ideas, the things that we think about, the things that we believe about ourselves that sit in our sacral chakra, those things become a reality, right? It's the longer we store that energy and we, keep on with the program of this is who we are, this is what we believe ourselves to be through our actions. It's not what we're saying to ourselves, but how are we treating ourselves? How are we acting? You know what I'm saying? Throughout the day, what is it that we believe, about ourselves? And a lot of times, people that don't have the direction, and a lot of us that this world was created for us to be misdirected. So this information that is coming out now is not something that was elementary. It wasn't something that was taught to us. The people that have gained this knowledge is because they were open enough to receive the information from spirit, to receive the information from ancestors, from divine intelligence, infinite intelligence, to get
Right.
the information. None of it is new. This information belongs to us because it's part of our makeup, being able to recognize your system and know how
Right.
you work and know when something is blocking, when something is clogging you, how to get it out on your own, how to do work on yourself so that you can be healthy, so that you can manage your system on your own. This idea of professional people that, tell you how you feel or take this or take that, that industry is unnatural. And so it can't exist the way that it has existed. And so this awareness of who we are is starting to come up more, and people are starting to recognize that there's something more than what they've been taught. And so when you have your your system in alignment, when your system is clear, it's like you get all of the signals. And so you're not relying anymore on outside information. You're able to get it straight from the source yourself. And this is what the powers that were didn't want. So they made sure that the sacral, the sexual energy in all of humanity has been tainted, has been disturbed, has been attacked. And so that has been done on purpose so the separation from ourselves can happen. But I know that
Right.
I went a bit on a tangent. Did you ask me a question and I went somewhere else? Because I know I just kind of
No,
went on a tangent.
you did not go on a tangent. Actually, everything you're saying, I want you to say because
That's it.
I'm telling you that, like I said, that's why I said this is a deeper, higher level of spiritual healing because I had no
Hmm.
clue. Like I said, I thought, oh, after 9 days, and you do the, I release you from my spirit,
Hmm.
and that everything was good. I didn't know that was, that it went that deep.
Yeah.
And
There are some studies that anybody could research, study the DNA, look up the DNA of a man inside of a woman's body. They have taken studied the corpse of women and found
mm,
like multiple, because it doesn't, it stays, it becomes part of your system. And this is
mm,
why a lot of people think that the whole idea of a woman being reserved with herself and reserved with her sexual energy is control, was people trying to tell you what to do. Or I mean, in some cases, yeah, like, when anybody tries to take control over you, there's that's something totally different. But you having control over yourself and having the choice and knowing why you are preserving yourself, that's what's been hidden away. And we're taught so many wrong things. If you're a woman, you already know. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
if women were taught the true power of their nature, then they would be equipped to make different decisions than what they make out of ignorance. You know, what
Exactly.
happens to most women in our society when something happens to you, or when you get touched, right? Or when, you know what I'm saying, when somebody crosses a line, you're encouraged to not say anything. You're
Hmm.
encouraged to suck it up. You're encouraged to, that's something you don't talk about that. People are very uncomfortable with the subject. You know, I
Right.
remember when I was a little girl and I was, you know, I had this courage to speak, and I spoke about an incident that happened in my world. It was at my friend's house, and
Hmm.
I was at her house. I had to be uh, I'm gonna say that I was about eight, between 8 and 10, right? And so I go to my friend's house, and it was a family gathering. And at that family gathering, there was a man that was, you know, everybody was in the party room, and you know that
Hmm.
back in those times, the family had parties, the kids were in one room, the you know, and but in this particular party, it was just me and her. It was adults all over, and it was just, you know, she and I. So, you know, we would play in the room, we would come back out. And so in this instance, the all of the party had went to another room, but there was one man sitting on the couch.
Hmm.
There was, I was hearing the cats. There was one man sitting on the couch, and so and he calls us, and we go over, and he had a pillow, and he uncovered the pillow, and he had his pink penis out, right? And so I saw that, and I was, of course, shocked. And so I was like, we need to tell your mom. We need to tell your mom right now. So we go, you know, of course, she was afraid to tell, but I was like, no, we're going to tell. And so when we told, you know, I let her know, and the look on her face was just like, I can't believe you are sitting here lying on this
Oh,
man, saying this. You go to your room, and it was like, and Maria, I'm gonna tell your mom, you know, about this. And then of course, when another adult goes to another adult, and they're saying, look at the story that my child and her friend fabricated on this
wow.
highly esteemed man in the community, you know. And so that was my first lesson in knowing that, okay, don't tell nobody, because they're not going to listen. You turn into the bad person, and that was a signal of, don't, you know, you're not going to say anything. And so
Right.
from that point on, even though for me, and it's hard for me to tell the times and the years, sometimes I think that it's later. Every time that I'm quiet, then she stops. I keep hearing the meow.
That'd be
Aziri, where's the cat? Oh, okay. He wants to leave.
you can hear
Okay.
his little voice. Meow.
Hold on. I gotta take care of it.
That's
Give me a
fine. That's
second.
fine. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. I hope that you are enjoying this as much as I am. This woman, the wisdom and the knowledge that she carries, that she's speaking, that she's sharing. I don't know. I'm just grateful for it because, like I said, I had no clue that we would need to heal on that level or and cleanse ourselves on that level, because I always, like I said, just thought in 9 days that, sperm disappears or whatever. And oh, look at the beautiful cat. What's her name?
It's a he,
Hi.
and I never intended to keep him, so I called him Screamer because he was always screaming, just like you heard him.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, well, that's a little wimpy name, so let me give him another one. So I just call him Screaming Tiger.
Screaming tiger.
Screaming Tiger.
That's cute. He's adorable. Say, I just wanted some mommy love. So that's it.
Yeah,
Just
he just
want some
needs
mommy
attention.
love.
He's gonna go back. He's gonna go back with her again. He's just, I don't know if you could hear the purrs, but he be purring.
Yeah, say, I want some love too.
But thank
Wow.
you, and I apologize for that. That's like,
Oh
it's
no.
like when you hear the scream or the cry of an animal, it's just like I could understand what they're saying. Zizi, he's back over here by the door. Yeah,
Oh,
and these cats, they just want attention, and when they want attention, they want attention.
like
But
little children.
yes. So okay, so I yield because I came back and you were speaking, so I didn't want to.
Oh, I was just, yeah, saying I'm glad, that you have been given this wisdom and this charge to go out and share your knowledge and your wisdom with us, because it is so needed. And, I want to go back for 1 second when you said that, some people say, "Oh, that's weird. I got to put a yoni egg in my vajayjay." Well, you
Hmm.
use those little Kegel things. That's all
You
I'm
know,
saying.
people get scared, things that are unusual, and the program is so strong that
Mhm.
anytime you're presented with something that is for your healing, it's kind of like, the devil and the angel. There's always
Mhm.
going to be that devil that's going to be like, nah, you don't really want that. Stay over here, So that's why it's so important to have discernment. It's so important to
Yeah.
be able to know yourself and know when you're hearing things, when you're getting energy, because the energy that existing in the world, like we talk about spirituality, some people are afraid of it, and some people, don't even recognize that spirituality is something that exists in you forever. This is not
Exactly.
anything new. And the reason
Mhm.
why it's coming to people's attention now is because it's undeniable. Like you can't deny what's going on right now. People can feel it, right? So now
Mhm.
people are starting to get more of an awareness. So they're looking for the information so that they can be, better prepared. And a lot of people come to me, of course, in privacy because this is
Mhm.
not something that people are used to talking about. I'm not just talking about the sexual energy, I'm talking about spiritual healing at that.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that were damaged by religion,
Mm.
and they're afraid to speak still.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want to be condemned by Lord Jesus, so I don't want to, so they get very scared. And these things are serious. Like, there's a lot of people that make jokes, about religious people and all of the things that
Mhm.
happen and stuff like that. But it really is nothing to joke around. It has been like the biggest mind fuckery of them all. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
To
And can
use
I
your
share with
sacred
you?
energy. Go ahead.
Forgive me. I said, can I share with you that I was so pissed when I found out the truth about the church and Jesus and all of that. I was so mad, and then I got mad because when it was time for me to learn of myself, that's through the sacred science, and our ancestors' teachings and things of that nature. I was like,
Hmm.
I gotta read and study all some more information, forever. I said it's gonna take me forever to get to know me and who I am and about divine and the pantheon. And I was just like, so I was mad. So for like a couple years I didn't read anything. Or
Hmm.
and then I was like, well, am I supposed to pray to somebody? Am I supposed to worship? What am I going to do? But
Yeah.
when I let the anger go, that's when
Uh-huh.
divine started leading me and guiding me. And, you know, um,
Ache. Ache.
so it's like, you gotta,
And I'm glad that you talked about that, because that is a question that a lot of people have, is where
yeah.
do I go? What do I do? And when you
Hmm.
allow divine to take over, it really truly does. You got to
Hmm.
trust it. You have to
Right.
trust it.
And can I just bring up, this was one of the first books I bought to learn about who I
Mhm.
am, where we come from, and that kind of thing. So that, and I brought it up because I wanted to ask you, can you recommend anything that people who are going to be new to this, because a lot of people are going to, once the truth starts coming out, you can't unsee it, you cannot unhear it, and you're going to start, because I know what happened was, another thing that happened before um, the two people told me about the truth was, I would sit in church, and like I said, I would study and read for myself. So when the preacher was preaching something, I was like, that's not what the Bible said. Because I
Mhm.
would read the passages before, after, have out my concordance, my dictionary, and I'm, praying to God so I can have wisdom on this, what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was sitting in church and I was like, that is so not true. I was like, finally, I just couldn't take it. So I
Mm-hmm.
had actually left the church before I started finding out the truth, all these truths, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but one thing I like that you have said in our conversations is so important to always go inside first.
Mm-hmm.
And to get answers that we cannot
Yes.
continue to rely on people.
No. A book is the perception of the author, right?
Mhm,
Whatever the book is about, the person who wrote that book, they got with, even if they got with other people's perception of what this particular topic is. And so
mhm,
when it comes to your awareness of who you are, and if we're clearing out all of the things that were taught that were wrong, and we
mhm.
want to open up to what is real and what is beneficial for us, you have to clear the way. And clearing the way also means nobody else's voices, nobody else's sound, just your own. You and Most High, God, the Creator, infinite intelligence, universal intelligence, whatever you want to call this source. When you connect to that source divinely, like for real, it's going to give you all of the information that you need all the time. And then the books become confirmations to what you already know within. And so you're going to know exactly where to go. And so you asked if I had a recommendation. I don't. There's many books that you can get for after, but those books are going to come to you almost magically. What I
Okay.
recommend is your meditation, your time being still and recognizing what meditation is, right? People have been taught to pray. And
Mhm.
so when we're praying, they're taught that you pray, and in this moment, you pray, but nobody has ever been taught that you are the prayer, right? That prayer is in your subconscious mind, the things that you believe in, the things that you want, the things that you desire, like who you, that's in your subconscious mind, right? And your subconscious mind is what's communicating directly with source. Infinite
Right.
intelligence is recognizing that vibrational frequency. And so, because we weren't taught that, we were taught, okay, you pray on Sunday, right? And so you say all the things you want, dear Father God, this is what I want. And then you just wait. You just wait for it to happen. And if you really believe in it, then it's going to, but if you believe in this source, then that's how it's going to come. And there's all these complications of how that
Yeah.
happens that justify how
Right.
when things don't happen, it's like, oh, well, you got to go more to the church. You got to do this. You got to give more tithes. You got to, all these reasons as to why it didn't work, that they never gave you all the information, right? Because when you recognize that you're a direct extension of that source, and then you recognize that what you have to do is start learning your vessel and learning your body and how that works, it starts eliminating everything else on the outside. And now you have a clear communication, but that makes you uncontrollable. And so now, you're in a different direction than what the powers that were wanted you to be on. And I think that I probably skipped something because I felt myself kind of going in a different direction. Um, we were talking about, can you bring me back to where we
Girl.
were?
Wait a minute.
I, I,
Okay.
cause I just be going and just be like, woo,
Oh
woo,
no,
woo, woo,
because
woo.
first of all that you just said, I'm like, I just had a like a because I believe, I know now, not later for believe, because we are
Mhm.
in the age of
In the
knowing. I
absolute.
know that
Hmm.
what you just said about not reading that book because that's somebody else's opinion and they probably got with some other people and that's their opinion. Because I'm
Hmm.
like, I need to know for myself. So
Yes.
I need to stop.
Yeah.
Like, and I have
And
been
there's nothing
like,
wrong with books. Nothing wrong with
right,
books. But we
right.
gotta
But
know
I
what the
want
book
to
is.
know me and
Yes.
divine myself. I don't want to keep having to run here and run there, and I want to be
Hmm.
able to run right to myself inside and
Hmm.
connect with the
Yes. 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 And that's why it's so important to clear your system and do that work on yourself first, because everything that's coming in is now your design. And this
Right.
is, we have such a unique opportunity. While a lot of people are panicking and they're
Right.
worried about what's happening on November 1st, what is happening is a huge harvesting time. October is very, very powerful, because in the month of October, there is a closer realm to the ancestors, to the spiritual realm, to the other side. One of the reasons why that is, there's astrological reasons and things that happen in the planet, but another reason that I know that everybody can resonate with is that this is that time of Halloween. This is the time where people are open to that other realm, and everybody
Mhm.
is agreeing on that, right? So when
Right.
everybody is agreeing that this thing is happening, then it makes it more actualized. It makes it happen. It gets us closer to that realm. During that time,
Right.
people are believing that there's ghosts. They're believing that you can connect to the ancestors. And so it's a very powerful force. And so on November 1st, I know I can speak on the Boricua tradition, the Tainos, in Puerto
Mhm.
Rico. And I
Mhm.
know that they also do this in Mexico, Dia de los Muertos. And so Dia de
Mhm.
los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, is the day after Halloween, which is the 31st, right? So on
Mhm.
the Day of the Dead, what we would do is we would acknowledge the ancestors. We would celebrate the ancestors. We would, cook for them and do the different things that celebrate them, right?
Mhm.
And in this time, in that season, this is our offering to the ancestors, so that they can continue to assist us on our walk on this path. Ache?
Right.
Because this walk on
Right.
this path, when we transform, it's not over, right? It's
Right.
not over. We just think
Right.
it's over because we forget. And when you're crossing dimensions, now you're not in the body anymore. Now you're in a whole nother realm, a whole nother system, but it's all connected. And so
Right.
in order for us to live in the divine way, we have to keep that. That's the true circle of life. Circle of life is recognizing that there is no death, only transformation, right?
Right.
There are death of things, and when something is that carcass is gonna die, it's just not gonna come back. But the soul does not die; it's
Right.
forever. And this is why we're able to connect to so many things and so many people, because we're able to tap in to other lifetimes that we have experienced in other realms. And in the earth realm is where we get to Sankofa, get some of those things and bring them here and do more learning, more training, so that we can go off to the next thing, to the next realms, to whatever is next for us. But the work that has to be done here has been tainted by people that wanted to take over, the powers that were. And I'm not even going to say people, beings, energies that have been wanting to take over,
Right.
that have known what this realm is and have wanted to suppress the power of what happens in this time, in this realm, through humanity. And
Wow.
so, they came here, started spanking motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, and putting needles and taking them away from, the womb prematurely, and
Mhm.
doing that. That is a form of RIPE. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so
Right.
when it comes to sexual energy, sex energy, the sacral chakra, it is the power of life, right?
Wow.
It is everything.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
womb is everything. And
Right.
so we have been taught to not recognize that, to forget that, is what we've been taught, is to forget it, because it exists inside of us, and once we wake it up, it cannot be forgotten again. But
Right.
this, all of the things that have been done, from the planetary pollution that has
Mhm.
happened, the
Mhm.
chemtrails that were happening, and now
Right.
I guess in some places they have stopped, but this is the technology that is used to protect yourself and to protect the planet against those things that are being done. And not even just the things that are being done on purpose, but things that are being done just on the evolution of the planet. Technology
Right.
is not going anywhere, and it is
Exactly.
an assistant to us, but we are the original technology. We are the generators all the time. So there's a
Right.
lot of people that are getting really scared of AI, and I know we're gonna, this is going into a whole nother thing, but it's just going back to fear. And so when
Mhm.
you're able to clear your energy in your sacral chakra and your root chakra, and even go deeper to your earth star chakra, and you're able to recognize things for what they truly are, you're
Mhm.
able to benefit from everything that is happening on the planet. There is a yin and a yang for everything. There's good and bad. You know, they're
Right.
they're just polar. It's negative and positive, but negative is not bad. It is what
Mhm.
you perceive it to be, because without the darkness there could be no light.
Exactly.
So it's about your perception of these things and being able to put these in place in proper order in
And
your,
balance.
right? So that you can find that balance and bring the harmony and the rhythm to your experience. Everything could be experienced, and we must do that. And there's so many people that are bringing shame to
Mhm.
women.
Mhm.
This judgment that they have for the woman, for the lifestyle that she has chosen or been forced or been
Mhm.
conditioned to
Mhm.
exist in. A lot
Mhm.
of women separate prostitution with thinking that only a woman that is in a corner selling her goods for fiat notes is prostitution, and they don't recognize the prostitution that is happening within your homes, in your own relationships, in your jobs, in your relationships that you have with trying to find this mate. Because now women have this thing where, what is it? I'm hearing this a lot. I am the table. What do you bring to the table? And
Yes.
being woman is enough, and all of these things. And it's like you have the divine privilege to be the divine feminine, and know that the man has access to the divine feminine within himself too. So
Exactly.
if you do not recognize who you are, then your divine feminine is not really going to do you any good, because you're
Exactly.
not nurturing it. You're not recognizing it. You're not
Right.
igniting that power within yourself. Words are words, and anybody can use them. But if
Mhm.
you don't walk through the fire, if you don't
Mhm.
go through the mud, then
Exactly.
you're not going to have the tools necessary to really be in that position, to be in that position solidly. And I say that to say that there's a lot of people that are calling themselves a lot of things. There's a lot of kings, queens, empresses, prophets, and priestesses,
Mhm.
and all kinds of
Mhm.
things. And
Mhm.
there are people that feel like they can call themselves those things because they feel divinely to call themselves that, and they do have that right, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
in this world of healing and sacral healing, then people are going to the energetic path of healing, not the words of healing, not the masks that are being worn by people that are
Right.
wanting to utilize the divinity to fill their pockets. And so there's
Exactly.
a difference, but it's all out here. And it is up to every individual to be able to get that discernment. And that's why this here right now is so important. These conversations that people are afraid to have, or they
Right.
don't know how to have, are
Right.
important to have, because without the knowledge of yourself, you're not going to go anywhere.
Exactly.
You're going to continue to create the the world that you
Mhm.
have been creating.
Mhm.
Cada cabeza es un mundo. That means that every mind, every head is a world. And that is
Mhm.
designed and created by you. You're the co-creator of your world. You can't
Yes.
you can't design what is going to happen to you. You're just the co-creator, right? But you
Right.
can choose the way that you react to those circumstances that happen that you have no power to. I want
Mhm.
to give Ache, and I have to send Ache to our Ache. I'm getting the chills. Ache, yes,
Mhm.
Ache. Jamaica,
Mhm.
Jamaica. Ache to Jamaica. Ache to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica. Ache.
Yes.
Ache, Ache, Ache.
Awesome.
I feel you. I feel you. I know you and I feel you. Ache, Ache. There are people that are suffering a lot because they can't put their hands on their loved ones in Jamaica.
Mm.
There are people that are hurting, and they are not recognizing that at this time it is so important for you to be in your calm. It is so important for
Mm.
you to be in awareness of your own power.
Yes.
Microphone check.
Yes.
Phone check. 1 2 1 2.
Yeah.
Microphone check. Ache, ache. And so the best thing that you could do for the people in Jamaica
Come on.
is to be with yourself and to recognize the power within you and to bring this calm and this ease and send it to Jamaica. Send
Yeah.
it to this energy of the storm. Send it to this, send calm to this energy of the storm and
Yes.
moving away. See it moving. Give it to the mothers. Give it
Come
to,
on.
tell Gemini to come
Mm.
and get it. Come and get this storm and move it away from the land. Move it away from the land. Move away the storm from the land in Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
and give
Mm.
Gemini. Give it to the ocean. It is doing what it needs to do. It is clearing. And there are energies that are going to be gone from this occurrence that is happening. Ache, ache, ache to the souls that are transforming at this time. We
Yeah.
feel you. We see you. We are with you. We are of you. You'll be back if you want to be back. But while you're there on the other side, giving you the ache that is necessary
Hey.
so that you could do the work to assist us, those ones that are still here doing this work. We are
Yes.
united. Ache, Ache, we are one. We know it. You are not dead. You are forever. Ache. And
Mm-hmm.
so doing this with yourself and for yourself is how you elevate the energy.
Yes.
What you don't have control over, you can't do anything about. So
Mm.
the thing that you can do is sit with yourself in the most calm, in the most love,
Mm.
vibration that you can muster. Sing your song, do your dances. If you feel that anger, but
Yeah.
redirect that anger. You transform that anger. That anger is existing in your root. You can't be among the people that you love. That's hard. It's frustrating. I will never say don't feel what you feel.
Come
You
on.
feel what you feel, but
Yeah.
you use that power. Use
Yeah.
that power so that you can transform that energy in your root,
Mm.
in your sacral, bring it up to your solar plexus, bring it up to your heart, hold it there, right? And then you release that energy, release it with love, release it with love, and let it do what it's supposed to do, what it knows how to do. But the power comes from you. And then when you connect with this divine source and you allow for this energy to go to where it's supposed to go in love, then you don't have to be afraid of it. You don't have to
Yeah.
be afraid of it. You transmuted that anger and that fear and that frustration, whatever is low, and you bought it up. And sometimes you don't have to release it from your heart. You can keep it, just keep it in there and bring it to your throat chakra, right? And then you speak on it. You speak on it, right? You speak that healing. And then you bring it back and you want to bring it back and you bring it to your third eye. You want to bring all that energy up. This is all of your energy that came from your root, from your sacral chakra. You're going to bring it up. You want to keep it. So if you don't want to speak it out loud, you don't have to speak it out loud. We got options here, right? And so now you're keeping it. And so what you do, you speak it within. So you say it and you say it in your mind, you say it to yourself, and you're bringing it up into your third eye, your pineal gland, and
Mm.
your achea. You're giving thanks because that's open and that's knowing and that vision. And you ask for the vision. What is it? What is it that I'm seeing for this new space that I'm creating with this energy that's inside of me? Show me what I am creating, what we are creating, ancestors and divine. What are we creating? Show me. I want to see. And then you ache for that vision. Thank you for that vision. And then you bring it up. You go to your crown chakra, and here's when you're connecting with the most high, with the angels, with this divine energy, and you're saying ache, thank you, and gratitude for this energy, for this happening. And by this point, like, we could go deep. I'll be going deeper at the Ache Network, at the African Spirituality Experience Network on the Patreon channel. Because this goes, what I'm talking about now as I'm doing this, and we weren't planning on doing this. This is just something that happened. But this energy work, because I'm gonna have to pick my afro, y'all. Dude, messing with my afro, the antennas are all going, so I get all this information. Oh, yes, I check. So the
I'm
information that
sure.
I touched on right now is the information that's required, so that as there are many priestesses and energies out there, because I'll call them what they want to be called, but they're teaching the wrong things. They're wanting to teach women to rub it out in your power, right? But they're not giving them all of the information so that they could be conscious of what it is that they're rubbing out, of what
Right.
it is that's happening when you release that orgasm. What is it that's happening? With great power comes great responsibility. And the
Yes.
power of the divine feminine orgasm is like no other. That is everything. That's what created you, right? That's
Exactly.
what creates humans. And it can be used without the male,
Right.
right?
Right.
And this is not about trying to say we're better or we're more. No, this is just facts of what can happen, which is a testament to the power of what we have inside of us and
Mm-hmm.
why we're constantly encouraged to fuck it off.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Don't think about it. Just you think about your power and what you think about. As long as you're, you got your nails and your hair done and all this is going on, and ooh, you that bitch. And so as long as you thinking that you do that and you're gonna, no, no. Every single time that you have and this magical moment of ecstasy, you are creating what exists in your subconscious thought. So if you're primarily fearful, then you're creating a lot of magical things that are going to happen in your life so that you could experience abracadabra, which you just manifested in your
Mm-hmm.
state of predominant fear. That is what's being created through this action that you're so freely taking. And so this is why it's so important to mind this energy and to use it as sacred as it is, and to know that it's sacred, and to celebrate that that purging that happens once a month, and to recognize and know what that is, what that sacrifice is, know how you could use that energy for the benefit of yourself and your family. But
Right.
these are not the things, these are the things that were taught in mystery schools. These were the things that, witches were burned at the stake for teaching the sacred science, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so they not only did they burn us and kill us and do all of these different things, but then they started saying that the reason why they did those things to us. So
Mm.
they glorified their reasons and they demonified,
Right.
Lilith is the worst, right? Just
Right.
because she
Come
didn't
on.
control, oh, she was the devil. Well, if I
Mm-hmm.
got to be the devil so that I can honor my vessel and so that I can command the space that I'm in, I'll be that, right?
Come
Because
on.
I have to protect this. And
Right.
there were so many of us. And see, a lot of us that came, we came in male form, we came in the divine feminine, divine masculine. All of it has been like this jumble time after time after time. In this time now, Sankofa, go get all of the strongest lifetimes that you've had and use that energy now so that you can protect your freedom, so that you could truly protect your vessel and the spirit within.
Right.
So it's that, and so it's necessary to have the masculine and the feminine, but be able to master it within yourself. And then
Yes.
when you come together with somebody, then that's just amazing. But unification with the other, it's not time for that if you don't know who you are. And this
Mm-hmm.
is why back in the day, all of the traditions of you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Well, I could speak in the feminine side, right?
Okay.
So you were not allowed to have a boyfriend until the age of 15. But by that age of 15, because that's when you're entering, your womanhood, and not even having a boyfriend at that time, you were able to court, right? But from the ages of 1 to 15, you're getting your training. You're learning how to take care of yourself. You're
Right.
learning how to cook. You're learning how to clean. You're learning how to design things. You're learning how to sing and dance and all of these wonderful, magnificent gifts that we have as the divine feminine. You're learning about your body, your breasts, all of these things, the power in that. These are the things that you're supposed to be learning from the
Right.
ages, and wait, it's from the ages of 1 through 13, not even one, from birth through 13. It's the
Right.
whole ceremony and initiation. And then at 13, usually by that time, you should already had walked into your womanness, and so
Mm-hmm.
from 13 to 15, now you got 2 years to learn this is what your body's doing, this is what's changing, this is what's happening, this is what's going on. And so when you get it, and only when you get it,
Come
then
on.
the celebration happens. And
Right.
you earn it by learning. See what happened? This is what happened in society. This is what happened in my community. Oh, so all the parents wanted to have a quinceañera, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
quinceañera was based on who had the most money, whose family had the best, who was going to
Mm.
have the best quinceañera. And so all you had to do was turn 15 in order to get it.
Wow.
You didn't even have to be a maiden, a virgin, because it started being,
Wow.
I mean, all of that went out the window a long time ago anyway. And so then it
Yeah.
started to be the facade and looking the part. So then there would be these schools that would teach you basically how to look the part. Like you go to, because I know that in the African American community, you got your debutante balls, which is
Mm-hmm.
the same system. And
Right.
so I can't speak on that because I didn't have that experience. But I know that it's similar to the same thing. You got to teach the women how to be women and how to what to expect in the world. And every culture has its way of passing on this tradition and these different things. But
Mm-hmm.
all of that has been being stopped, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so people started creating their own ways of and it was all based on finances and money and being able to have these events for money purposes or for clout to show that you got it. And the whole Joneses thing, being better than the Joneses. So we lost all of that, but it's no problem because it's all back, and it's all back within us, and it is not that complicated. You mentioned something about when you came to your awareness too, you were saying, oh, what do I read or where do I go? And, all of these questions that definitely happen.
Right.
But when you know and you get the information from within, it's like a light bulb. And then it's like all of a sudden you know things that you didn't know. Because see, most high, the universe, infinite intelligence, is not going to make things difficult. We make things difficult by our thoughts about things being difficult. But when
Right.
you start recognizing all the information that you need, and you start opening up to knowing that you want to know more, and whenever you want to know things about yourself, you ask yourself. Asking yourself is asking Most High. Don't be afraid to talk to Most High. And you say, what do who was I in a past life? I'm really good at singing. What show me, what was I, that how did I get that skill? And then
Right.
before I go to rest at night, not sleep, I don't sleep, I chant to Dr. Delbert Blair. I do not, I want to maintain my consciousness at all times. So before I go to rest, for I say, let my mind stay away while my body rests. And if I want to
Right.
go deeper, I take my notepad, and with red ink, I'm gonna write me. Who was I in a past life? You know, show me, tell me, whatever I want to know. I'm gonna write that, and I put it under my pillow. If I'm, on another stage, what I do is I'm gonna put an orgone energy battery on it, and I'm gonna just let
Mm-hmm.
it be. It's radionics. There's a science to this. My energy, all of that now is being amplified. So this energy and this question that I'm asking, it's already like that because God is always listening. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now
Right.
this is consciously directing energy, so it's making everything work in that direction. And so now the information that I wanted to know is going to come to me by way of the dream state. And so I'm going to get information by way of symbols, different things that I remember, mostly a feeling. What do I feel like in the dream? That's going to tell me a lot. And so
Right.
now this is information that I have that I can take with me in my walking life and use it for my benefit, because my seers, my team, the spiritual world that got my back is giving me the proper information that I need to move forward. Okay? And
Right.
so
Right.
I got to take it back to the cleansing and the clearing and your discernment. Spirit, energy, it's no joke. Everything that exists exists. So just because something is spiritual, and a lot of people have this idea of, oh, this beautiful, wonderful spirit. Spirit and energy knows how to disguise itself. You could have light energy that's acting as dark, and vice versa. So
Mm-hmm.
what is the determining factor of whether you get involved? You. And so you have to have this discernment and this clarity that says that's good and that's not good for me, right? That's
Right.
not good for me, but I want to do it anyway. But I'm clear on where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not about, oh, every experience has to be completely good and positive and wonderful. Sometimes we need to go into those quote unquote bad experiences so that we can get what we need, right? And that's why judgment is so important for us not to judge. But I've said a lot. I know I've been going and going, so I'm gonna yield and let's collect.
Girl, this video is one of my best videos.
I
Thank you.
check. I
Thank you.
check.
Because, like I always say, it's needed today. It truly is. And I'm so glad the word perfect did not come out your mouth, because this
Oh.
is not about being perfect. This is about being healed. This is about knowing truth. It's about knowing self
Hmm.
and being the very best you can. And like you said, being prepared for when we leave this realm, because we're not going to stay here forever.
Yeah.
We are going to transmutate, we're going to transform. So, during that period, with learning and growing, we still get to enjoy ourselves,
Hmm.
because I'm like, it's not like you said, you're sometimes, because of choices we make, it might get a little bumpy,
Hmm.
but just hold on,
Yeah.
get yourself to the other side and say, okay, we're not doing that again. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Because
So I
that's what
like when you
it's for.
said, yes, that's why I said, I like when you said you might make a choice, and as long as you understand this, it might not be good for you, but it
Hmm.
might be an experience you need, uh, in order to go to the next level. Because that's just like that time that I spent with, my. I've been married 3 times, and in a long term relationship for like 16 years, and got out of those things. But I'm so glad that through my journey, I kept maturing and maturing, because
Hmm.
I don't tear those men down.
Oh, no, no, no.
Because what I did was I learned to be appreciative of what they did positively in my life, bring to my life, and I'm grateful for those things, because I'm much better, and it gave me a stronger, uh, and a deeper desire to really know
Hmm.
me. And and I even stopped saying, I wish I'd have known this when I was real young. I'm like, look, knowing who I was then,
Hmm.
it wouldn't have made a difference, because I was going to do what Vina wants to do.
Hmm.
I'm learning all of this now,
Yeah.
because I'm applying it and living it now.
Hmm.
So, oh,
And there's so many gems in the experience. Like,
yes, yes.
it's like I was talking to somebody. I think I might have been talking to you,
Mhm,
talking
mhm.
about like I wouldn't give up anything for like this experience now. I don't want to be 20 years old. I
No,
don't need my younger self. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? It's like I love the being older. I love getting the knowledge. I love being able to me every day is an opportunity to evolve. And
Yeah,
with comes this just beauty of life. Like
yeah,
one thing that is really scary to me is how don't nobody got wrinkles, don't nobody got laugh lines, don't nobody everybody on social media, everybody be like this. And they don't got no expressions in their face. They be like, and they kind of look alike too. I'm like, no, I'm like, no, these are like when I see laugh lines, that shows me that a person likes to smile. They like to laugh.
yes.
It's like there's just so many things. And I mean, there's things that we could do because, yeah, there's face yoga and different things that you could do to take care of yourself. You could eat well so that you're not
Mhm.
looking, crazy. But
Exactly.
your vessel is always going to show any sick.
Right.
So this thing that people call like old, language and perception is everything. And matter of fact,
Really.
one of the sisters that I was talking to, we were talking about, yeah, being seasoned. I am
Mhm.
seasoned, and it's like I don't. I also don't
Yes.
fear. age. I have been shown myself at 100 years old. I got a vision, and I was able to, and it was me. It was so crazy because it wasn't a dream. It was
Mhm.
happening. It's like, like when you stop and like you can go into, people say that you're daydreaming, and it was like this vision, and it was
Mhm.
this woman, and she had just so many lines in her face, but they were like these beautiful lines, and
Right.
she, like, her eyes were beautiful and happy. She looked so happy, and she was looking at me, and I looked at her, and it took me a minute, and then it hit me, and it was like, that's
Wow.
me,
Yeah.
and it gives me chills when I think
Yeah.
about it, because
Yeah.
it's like that's what happens with in the society as well. They want to break the woman down to a point where, okay, when you're past this age now, you're disposable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
Like,
that's so not true.
adding things and doing things, trying to
Exactly.
maintain and trying to compete with young women and different things like
I'm
that.
so not doing that.
It's a robbery of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's horrible.
Because you miss who you are. I'm gonna tell you, because I love dancing, but I'm not gonna go out there and try to like you said, compete with the young. I'm like, leave that stuff to them and leave them girls alone. I said, don't worry, let them live a little longer. They'll be like, oh, the heck with this. Because I'm telling you, I got so sick and tired of having to jump through a hoop in a loop in order to be with somebody or to, you understand what I'm saying? I'm like, honey, I'm like, whatever. That's why
What?
I'm enjoying this
Yeah,
time by myself.
absolutely.
I'm just like, you know, so I'm like, honey, do your thing. If
And
I
if
want to
that's
go
what
out
you
with somebody to a movie or something, I can do that.
mm-hmm.
Or choose to. But and not only that, just like I said, spending time with myself. And one time, here recently, I seen this guy, and the guy is younger than me, and he always like make sure he speaks to me and all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this the place where he was, the young man that he was meeting thought that me and him was a couple, and I just, girl, I bagged up, and I just see myself happy and laughing, and you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, wow, I really don't have to be with somebody to be happy and
That's right.
joyful and laugh. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it felt good to see me laughing, and I was laughing, but it just to see it,
Yeah.
it was good for my heart.
And it's important. It's important to know that, like, because a lot of women, they also want to resolve to be like, oh, I'm just happy with being by myself, and I don't need no man, and
Oh, I mm-mm.
and it's not about that. It's about recognizing
Mm-hmm.
that whatever it is that you desire, you can have, and being
Exactly.
with yourself is an amazing thing, and it is a
Right.
privilege. It is a
Right.
privilege to be able to, like, spend time with yourself. And this is coming from some, like, I've been a mom. My kids are grown now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've been a wife. I'm not in that relationship anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and some people would be like, oh, so that means that, oh, now you reserve to, there's no more, you're in your 50s. So now, no. First of all, here's what it did. I married myself,
Come
right?
on.
And
Uh-huh.
marrying myself meant that I needed to make a commitment to treat myself like I treat my children, like I treated my family, like I treated the people that I love. I needed to do that for me. And so I
Yeah.
made a promise to myself to always do that and to
Mhm.
create. And there, hey, wait, there might have been some couple times that I might have cheated myself a little bit, but that's
You had to get
you get to,
get regulated with
yeah,
that.
you say no to yourself on one thing, and I'm not talking about sexual encounters. I'm talking about cheating in the terms of saying no to yourself on something and then just kind of giving up on yourself, and, like, cheating on yourself when you make up your mind that I'm gonna make sure and work out 13 minutes every single day, and
Mhm.
then when a day happens, then you stopped, and it's not to beat yourself up, but it's to
Mm-mm.
keep your word to yourself. Don't
Exactly.
cheat yourself, treat yourself. So you
Exactly.
don't want to, it's about the things that you're doing to yourself, what you're giving to yourself. Because if you want someone, if you want a partner to give you these things, you have to be able to give these things to yourself. And I'm not talking about finances and physical things. I'm talking about this energy of love and attention and appreciation. You know, you
Hmm.
have to give those things to yourself.
You
And
know
so for
what?
me, myself made sense because I wanted to make sure and hit that point home
Hmm.
that it's like, no, I want to treat myself just like that. And so
Listen.
what I also did, I took it to another level. I do want partnership in my life. I'm not tainted. I'm not jaded.
Mm-mm.
I
Mm-mm.
love
Hmm.
the partner that I had. I love him. I will love him forever. But
Hmm.
there are levels and there are changes that happen in life. Like it's like I love my mama, but I ain't with my mom all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I love my
Hmm.
children. They're now living their own world. So we have these different chapters with people. And
Hmm.
so when I'm able to love him and release him, then I want the best for him just like I want the best for myself.
Right.
I'm making room for what is for me. I don't have time to
Exactly.
hold bags. I don't have time to
Exactly.
be angry as shit. I don't have time to be mad at, man. And it's like, and I want it. Look,
Exactly.
you're supposed to elevate every time that you go. You can't be mad at your man,
Hmm.
at your ex, because they got somebody that look better than you, or that's younger than you, or that's this than
And
you. I don't have time to worry about none of those things. I am
girl,
me. I am
exactly.
me. And guess what? There is no one other than me. Even if I
That's
had
it.
a woman, she wouldn't be me. You
Okay.
so it's
Exactly.
like when you have that pride of yourself, it's
Hmm.
that. I
Hmm.
can't be nobody else. I'm not gonna
And I
compete.
don't want to be anybody
Yeah.
else. I like me
I
and
ain't
love
gonna
me.
audition. You know what? I'm not doing none of those things. I am
Yeah.
being, and what is meant for me will be for me. You know what I told what agreement I said to my ancestors and to spirit?
Mhm.
My future partner that I will want to do more things or different things in life with, they
Mhm.
gonna walk in the door and they're gonna be like, here I am. And I'll be like, oh yeah, that is you. And it's gonna be that, like, I'm calling it. And look, I ain't in no hurry. Cause right now,
Mhm.
I'm with myself. I am loving me. And I am dealing with I must say this, because I do not want to for 1 second make it look like this marriage to myself has been like, ooh, and I'm treating myself and I'm doing this, oh, and lovely, and tonight I'm gonna do this, and this whole image of that is just, no, this is crying, this is breakdowns, this is like that ugly cry. This is my eyes being so puffed up that I look like a daggone frog. This is pain that I had never thought that I would ever feel. Because
Mhm.
a lot of times as women, when we give ourselves away, that's what we
Mm.
do.
Mm.
We give ourselves completely away, and then we got nothing for us.
And we've been programmed to do that.
We've been
I can't
programmed.
live without you. Yes, I can.
So it's easy.
Exactly.
Yep. And we
Exactly.
settle and we say, I'm being the woman that I'm supposed to be. I gotta put myself last because he's providing and he's doing this and he's doing that. So we always find reasons to forget ourselves.
You know what? And the thing is, and it's sad because men really aren't that difficult to please. My second husband, girl, I would like go to the store and they have, the little cards, and I might get a little card that has something nice written in it, or I might write just a little funny something in there and slip it in the coat I knew he was wearing, Girl, he called me up later that day after he done put their hand in that pot. Oh my goodness, you gave me I love that. Da, da, da.
Aw.
And you would think that I gave him $1 million. I would give him one rose. He, girl, the smile on his face, because they sometimes, like, that's how I would see it. I was like, because he basically took care of me, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel obligated. I had to do all these big things. I just did little things that he didn't expect,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it meant the world. So nobody's perfect. And that's why I was saying, like you said, that's why I led with, oh, when I want to go to the movies, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a guy and we'll go to the movies.
Yeah.
I said, but I'm not pressed right now because, like I said, I've been married 3 times and then a
Hmm.
long term, was in a relationship for a long time. I'm just enjoying me. I'm enjoying my life.
And that's
I'm really enjoying getting to know me. Sometimes it's a little scary,
yeah.
but the more I'm learning, the more I'm letting go, and just embracing what, like you said, what divine is teaching and showing me about myself, because a lot of stuff I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Like, um,
Because you
you
didn't
know,
understand yourself. So
yeah,
how
I
could
didn't
you?
exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. But the more I'm learning, I'm just like,
Hmm. And you enjoy your time with yourself so much, but it's also important to say this, because a lot of times when you break up in a relationship too, people are like, oh, what did he do or what did she do? Sometimes it is just time. Sometimes you each have to do your work. Sometimes the cycle, the program, the this is just over, and it's time to move into different.
let it go. Yeah,
It's not always because somebody did something wrong, you
right.
know. But I will say that what has been wrong in all relationships have been the neglect of self.
Yeah,
Because if you are
and that's
good
on both sides.
and you're whole, yeah, then when you are in a relationship with somebody that's whole, then it's going to be magnificent and wonderful. But we have created these codependent relationships that has us completely torn and broken when the other person is not there. And
Right.
that's natural. That's not healthy. You could love somebody, even like when somebody transitions. We have people that, oh, well, he died, so I can't, I
And they
can't.
die. Because some people have been known, if the husband dies or the wife dies, then a few months later they die, or a year later,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
don't.
They're that attached and that distraught because of the loss of that individual. And see,
Exactly.
what's happening now in the world is people recognizing that you came into this realm by yourself, unless you came with a twin or
Right.
others, right? And you're going to leave by yourself in the same way. Everybody is just is a star, an individual powerful soul energy that needs its nurturing, it needs its growth and evolution. And we were not meant to just be stuck to each other in that way,
Right.
right? And so we have had such a jacked up understanding of what happens when people leave. And I'm not talking about just leave in death, but leave in a breakup, leave in a choice. You know,
Yes.
we
Yes.
get so stuck on the past. We get so stuck on what we want, on what we define as love, because that's
Mhm.
another thing too. When you
Yes.
know yourself and you love yourself, you will never misinterpret love again, ever, ever, ever. Love is a vibrational frequency that when you're in the vibrational frequency of love, you feel it. There is no name or no word, it's a feeling. When
Right.
you're not in that frequency, then it's not what it is. Like when
Right.
people say love don't hurt, well, of course it don't hurt, because love is not pain and love is not hurt. Love is love, right? And just like when people say, well, if you love me, you would do this. No, that's
That's
manipulation.
manipulation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're using they're using the term love, and then they're using all of these low vibrational things like manipulation and wanting to, well, if you love me, you would do this. If you love me, that no, that is pure manipulation, right?
Yes.
And so when you recognize the power of that and what that truly is, then love truly comes to play, and love is freedom. Because
Hmm.
experiencing and wait, don't, okay. So because a lot of people get it confused and everything, they'll be like, okay, then that means that if I love and I love you, and so I want to love other people, and there's differences and there's levels. There's polygamy, there's polyandry, there's multiple,
Hmm.
all of those different lifestyles exist. Do not use love to manipulate people into those lifestyles.
Exactly.
That's not correct.
Exactly.
And so, in order for a person to be able to make a decision to be in polyandry, polygamy, all of these different things, you got to know yourself, because
Yes.
those communities are created for development and for more nurturing and more love and more of what exists in a positive way in those
Right.
energies. And so, you
Right.
got to know what all comes with it. And
Right.
so, those relationships have been they've been glorified and they've also been vilified. you
Right.
know?
That's because
So,
people are not being honest with themselves.
yeah,
Because I know I met some a couple, and the husband thought that she was just okay with him doing that, and she told me she wasn't. Why tell him that?
yes.
But she want to keep her husband, so
Oh,
she
yes.
basically runs off the people. Yeah, and that's sad.
Yeah, it's so sad when we compromise who we are to keep a relationship, any relationship, when we
Exactly.
manipulate ourselves to keep friendships. Oh, I want to be
Mm,
with this girl. She's hot. I want to kind of be like her. So I want to keep her close. So I allow her, she's a bitch, but she's just being a little, it's okay. She still like me. We make these allowances because see this energy that we experience in relationships. It's in relationships, all relationships. It's not just with a man. It's not just with
exactly.
when you are to your core the way you are, you're in that way in relationships with people. So you
Right.
allow yourself to be bullied by a man, a woman, a child, whoever it is, a stranger, if that's the kind of
Hmm.
energy that you're carrying, if you don't know who you are and you're allowing yourself to be trespassed, anybody could do the trespassing. Now,
Exactly.
level to it too.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times a person gets bullied and then they become the bully. And so then there's levels. They'll bully the people that they know how,
Exactly.
and they're still getting. I mean, all of these chains and all of these things that we talk about that people suffer from, it's all fixable by you. And
Okay.
that's all you got to do.
Now
After
wait
you
a minute.
do that meditation and you spend that time with yourself, you're going to start knowing what it is and you
Wait.
keep following
Wait.
that instinct.
It's funny because I do have on my always choose to love myself, always choose to love yourself more page. I do have a segment that I do called
Uh
the unpacking. You
huh.
might have to come on there also.
Okay. And so much to unpack.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh wow, you need that. And that one's on Instagram. It's like, yeah, you could, because I'm like, it's so, like you said, it really is so much to unpack. Because just with some of the stuff you're saying, it's funny because, like, my son at an early age, teenage years, he was like, every now and then I would try to see if I could manipulate him into something. He was like, don't try to manipulate me. And I'm glad he recognized it because
Yes.
kids need to understand it way before they adults. Listen, yes,
Yeah.
I'm your mother, but don't even let me take advantage. Because if
No,
you let me, because that's where it starts at in the home, you'll let anybody else. I'm like, no, no,
absolutely.
don't
Absolutely.
do it.
And they're trained to do that. Like you even in movies and sitcoms and stuff, you would say things, I'm your mother, you got to do this because I'm your mother, or using the mother guilt of, oh, and the manipulating things or fake crying, like when women fake cry with men, that's horrible. You're using
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
a woman's cry to a man is like a baby's cry to a mother. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? When a
right,
woman cries, a man feels like, I got to fix it. I got to take care of it. What's going on? And
right.
so a woman abuses that and she's constantly fake crying or using it
Mm,
could make him do something that she wants him to do. That's none of that is right. You know what I'm
no,
saying? And
no,
all of these things happen because people don't know who they are. So they keep running the same programs and the same manipulation tactics, and they don't learn themselves. So they continue and they feed it to their children and their offspring and their friends and their family. And it just keeps going on. And
right.
that's everything that's happening in the world is it had to happen. It had to happen so that people could see, oh, this is what I did. This is what happened. When you look at your life, at your world, you got to recognize that everything that you see is the residual of your past thoughts and actions.
Yes.
Your experience is what your thoughts, your old that's your life experience. So if you
Mm,
want to change all of the things that are on the outside, you got to start inside of yourself. There
yes.
many people that are talking about the war and all of these different things that are happening in the world. And then I
Hmm.
look around and I'm here like this.
Hmm.
Sunshine on my shoulder makes me happy. And you know why that is though? Because I paid attention when Spirit said move, and I wasn't afraid of the shadow, I wasn't afraid of the dark, and I wasn't afraid of all the crying and all of
Mhm.
the things that I had to do so that I
Mhm.
could learn myself and really see myself for who I am and make the
Right.
choice to want to be better, because we are
Right.
perfectly imperfect, perfect in our imperfections. The imperfection is necessary for our healing, for our learning, and for our evolution. So
Yes.
we can't be embarrassed when we fall. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it takes failure to gain success, because
Right.
if you don't know how, if you've never done it wrong, you don't know how to do it
I do
right,
it right.
you know?
Mm.
And so in order for you to be the best that you can be, you got to have that information of who you are. And
Right.
then we do everything. But it starts,
Exactly.
and it's very simple. It's not complicated. You
Yeah.
don't like, okay, so I will say those people that want to connect with me, if you want to do work with me, you can connect with me directly. You can
Mhm.
text first, and you can send a text to 818-233-5776. That's 818-233-5776. I could talk to you all day about this Oregon technology. I can connect you to Oregon technology, but this is about you recognizing that this, first of all, already everything that's in here is inside of you. So you
Yeah.
got meditate. You have to do the things that are available for you to do, that you're able to do, so that then you can get to the next level. And then you can start talking about having tools that you can use so that you can get to the next level.
Right.
But don't rush calling me, talk about, oh, I need this because I want what she got. I want this. Like, I create these, and you can get some, but
Mhm.
what's in here came from what's in here.
Right.
So the only way for you to really get what you are seeing in me is for you to go within. When it's time for
Exactly.
you to have the tools, it'll happen. You'll get it. But like, I'm not gonna come on here telling you that you need this in order to elevate. You
Mm.
need your mind in order to elevate. You need your discipline, and make sure that you take that time to spend with yourself so that
Yeah.
you can elevate yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I'll show a different one. So it's a different one. What this does do, and the reason why it is important for you to gain the knowledge on how to create this and do this and have them accessible to you, is because what this is doing is protecting you from electromagnetic frequencies that are coming from your cell phone, from the cell towers, from all of the digital stuff that is in the world.
Mm.
This protects your skin and your cells and all of that from that.
Right.
But in order for you to be able to have access to all of these things, you can't skip steps. So you got to work on yourself, right? And I will look, I talk to everybody that is wanting to know how to heal themselves. And I could give,
Mhm.
so you could at least get started, 818-233-5776, and I will answer your call. But I'm not going to tell you anything wrong. I'm going to give you what you need. And then when you start doing the basics, then you're going to feel yourself elevate. And then you're going to start seeing all of these things happen that are going to make it possible for you to get more of what you need. Ache is 444. Ache. Ache.
Ashe. That's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really full right now. And thankful for this information, this wisdom, the energy. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys felt the energy when she was uh, interceding for Jamaica.
You that this
Just,
is the first time I did that, and I felt their energy so strong. I can't even explain what that was. I cannot.
yeah, all I know is it was some powerful energy coming through. You know
Ache.
what I mean? To me, to have me while you were praying, I'm sending out the
Eh,
and asking for that
eh.
to move out because we do have that power to do that.
Yes.
The power of the voice, speaking the words,
Mhm.
that mental seeing it,
Mm-hmm.
and it happens because it when it comes out our mouths, it's out
Yes.
in the universe. It
Yes.
slows down and it manifests.
Yes.
And not only that, we're speaking to something that's within us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we can, it hears us, literally.
That's
It
it.
hears us
That's
and
it.
it performs.
That's
So, yeah.
when that was happening so that people could get the comprehension of what it is. So while that was happening, I was receiving energy, and I was receiving like these chills. It was really interesting the way that it was feeling in my body. And then
Mhm.
I was feeling your energy too. And so what was happening is, as this energy is coming out, she teamed up with my energy. It's like we riding
Yes.
a wave together, and she hop on and she on that wave with me, and now we're shooting energy to the
Yes.
where we're thinking about Jamaica, we're thinking about those people, and now our
Yes.
energy is combined. Not only that, those of you that are watching, that's happening,
Hmm.
connected with that, you're connecting with our energy as well. And the beauty
Hmm.
of technology is that when this is seen over again, everybody that watches it, then it multiplies that energy. So please share this video with everybody
Yes.
that you
Yeah.
know. Even they don't have to be just in Jamaica. It's
Mm-mm.
for them to know the power of your own energy and how we can use it together so that
Yeah.
we shift energy. We are
Hmm.
so I'm grateful to have had this time with you tonight, Divine Lavinia. And so what we did tonight together is etched in time forever. So
Yeah.
I am so grateful. Ache, I'm sending high vibrational scalar energy,
Oh,
prosperity, love, health, and wealth. No limits to everybody. Ache.
yes, Ashe. I love it. You guys, please don't miss out on this beautiful divine Mahri Seg 13.
Gracias,
I'm
gracias.
telling you, it's truth. Ma'at, okay? The great mother, segment, a set, and so many, because I know so many different cultures call her a different name, but
Mm-hmm.
that energy is one and the same. And that
Che,
energy loves us. And
ache.
she loves us so much. Sister Myra says that the great mother, she can't, for some reason, I can't exactly remember word verbatim that
I,
she said
the
it's to, yes, she
Myra
said,
Moss,
but
Myra
she
Moss.
sends her daughters down here.
We
She
are
said,
mother
and you
daughter.
have been sent from her, yes, to heal and to speak, to bring light, to bring truth, to bring
Ache.
balance and
Yes.
peace, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And not only that, the women would know you are worthy, you are beautiful.
Yes. Yes. And all experiences of our womanhood is
Yes,
worth, it's like
yes,
in
yes.
our I'm gonna be live with Orisha Bemi soon on the
Mhm.
Patreon. We're gonna be going deep with spiritual sexual healing. So if you want to be part of that, definitely check us out there. And you'll
Yes,
also see me regularly on Orisha Stone on the
yes,
Orisha Network. So we're talking about the importance of these minerals and of these beings, the importance of our understanding to them. So
yeah,
definitely stay tuned. I'm definitely going to be hitting up my sis all the time. When she needs me, I'll be here to support. This platform is very necessary. We need more divine feminine wombstresses, journalists that are going to come and give us the opportunity to share our story, to share ourselves
yeah,
in just divine way. So let's continue to support our sisters that are doing this work. So
yeah.
thank you for what you do. And
Thank
it's
you,
an honor and a pleasure to be here with you.
thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you all who are watching and will watch. We thank you and we send abundance of love to you. Thank you.
Adios.
Bye bye. Good night.
Buenas noches.
Wait a minute. Let me see it. Oh, I'm thinking it's touch screen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. Mwah. Peace. Okay. Wait a minute. I think that's okay. There it is. Love you guys.